Hi everyone, welcome back to Sunday League to Champions League. My name is Chris, aka Big Will. Today we have two games for you, albeit I'm not too sure what the second game is going to be as of yet. We have a big opportunity in our first game to get to the first round proper of the FA Cup away against National League side Gateshead. It's going to be a tough game for us realistically, but hopefully we can find a way to get through. Obviously, if it finishes as a draw, we'll have the I think in qualifying they still get replays. I'm not entirely sure how it actually works in real time anymore. But in terms of recent fixtures, again, we have been a little bit iffy. So we may end up with a replay, or we go through and then we'll show you the next FA Cup tie, which I believe would be in and amongst these other fixtures here in the end of October. Or obviously, if we lose, we'll just come back for that next game against Macclesfield. As you can see, in relation to our form, it's been a bit sketchy, to be honest. We had the two draws last time out against Chorley and Bedford, and then we faced two non-league sides in the FA Cup. Warrington Rylands, we drew 1-1 at home and 1-1 away, but managed to get through on penalty kicks. We had a defeat to title-chasing South Shields in a 3-0 thrashing. And then we drew 2-2 away against Spalding, but won 4-2 in the home game against them. So at least we managed to finally get a result on the board for ourselves, but then a 2-1 defeat away against Oxford. Tactically, again, I'm still umming and ahhing about whether to change things up again. But obviously, we've had no league win since the end of August, albeit we have had, what, 3 or 4 league games. Two of them have been draws and two of them have been defeats. In terms of a general perspective, the board wanted us to finish mid-table. We are still in and around that, but again, we have dropped down into the bottom half of the table. It's very close in the league at the moment, and we just need to try and find a little bit of consistency in our play and try and build a bit of a winning mentality. But at the moment, it is going to be a struggle. But we've got the distraction today. We're in a big game here in the FA Cup. Let's hope we can get a good result. It would be good to see. Hawkins is back in goal for us at the moment. We've got Ezen Stokes, Posher, and Richards at the back, with Barton and Weston in the defensive midfield, with Ambersley on the left-hand side, Eames in behind Spencer, and Stobbs on the right. To be fair, when you look at the star rating of the team, we've got plenty of quality in the midfield and in behind the striker. We're just lacking a little bit of confidence and creativity at the moment, but hopefully it is something that will start to build. If we can get into the next round of the FA Cup, that would be a great way to start. And fingers crossed, like I say, we can keep this run going, even if it's from a financial perspective. Obviously, we know we're not going to get particularly far, but I am aware of the team that if we do beat Gateshead, I am aware of who we're going to be playing in the next round, and it is a team from our league. So there is every potential that we could, if we get through today, then maybe make it into the round afterwards. So I think it's just going to be one of those things. We've just got to hope for the best. We're really struggling to get any consistency. Gateshead landing up with a 4-3-3 by the looks of things, with us in the 4-2-3-1. Obviously, I'm not entirely sure how to change things at the moment. Tactically, I am debating changing things again because of this poor run of form that we're in. But we need to have that attacking midfield option. Eames is in on loan to play in that role. So realistically, we have got to maintain that attacking midfield slot as things stand. So I'm not too sure how we can change it for the better at the moment. Obviously, we need the wingers to be as attacking as they are as things stand. So it's a difficult one. We just need to try and use the quality we do have, and that's a really good bit of movement on the right hand side as Richards plays it in, and Eames has hit the crossbar. As it all in back in looking for Spencer, and in the end it's cleared away, but that was a great opportunity there. Eames smashing it off the crossbar, as in all in there with a good sliding challenge to put it out for a throw. But that's really, really positive, much better from the games that I've seen, obviously, in the other FA Cup ties and such as well. We have really struggled to really establish our authority in the games against non-league sides. So realistically, I'm not holding out too much hope, but if we can somehow get a result in a game like this, it can just turn the tide as the season goes on. And it is still early in the campaign. We've got to remember The lads are still getting used to the way that I want to play. They're still getting used to everything with the coaches and stuff as well, because we completely changed all the backroom team. It's going to take time for everything to bed in. At the moment, we aren't doing too badly overall. We're in a safe position in the league as things stand, but we do need to start picking up one or two good results just to push us through a little bit, really. Um, but it's just going to be one of those things that we've just got to ride it out and see what happens. I am hopeful that we can really push on and try and get some good results in the league as home gets in behind here for Gateshead, and we've managed to shepherd them away from goal, albeit only slightly. And Pani with the strike goes wide, luckily, and Hawkins certainly looks a little bit better in terms of size than Brooks does in amongst the goalposts, doesn't he? But of course, from the opening two games, he hasn't actually played I think he's played one league game since, and unfortunately, it was against the promotion chasing South Shields, and we lost 3-0. Stokes here with a corner. That's a good header from Posher. He did well to rise above the opposition there, but unfortunately couldn't get his header on target. But overall, I'm not too disheartened. I am tempted to maybe push us to a positive mentality just to see if that might help us going forward a little bit. But again, I don't want to risk too much, especially in a game of this magnitude. Yes, they're only one league above us in the National League, but from my perspective, this is a potential FA Cup shock if we do get the win away from home as well. So we've got to maintain the balanced mentality as things sit. But as the game goes on, if we are still looking to be keeping ourselves in the game, I might just try and push us forward a little bit more and see if that helps matters a little bit. Obviously, on the balanced mentality, everyone kind of errs on the side of caution. So we just need to potentially just take that little bit of a leap and have a bit more confidence in the team. But this is a really good run from Spencer. What a run from Spencer. And he's done superbly, and he should have finished it a little bit better. He had a lot of room to aim at. And unfortunately, the keeper did get his hand to it and make a very good save. But that was a really good run, that from Spencer. And considering he's the older of the two strikers, he's still showing plenty of energy. We're just going to pause there for a minute. I think I'm going to go for it. We'll go for a positive mentality. And I mean, Spencer's looked all right today, to be honest. We've not seen any support really from the three in behind. And again, Eames is really struggling to get anything going in his game at the moment. So we're going to take Eames off and we're going to get Tony Weston on to play in behind. He is capable of that. So we'll see how he gets on in that role. And other than that, I don't think I'm going to make any changes for the time being. We have got options on the bench, but I am quite happy with the balance of the team as things sit. So we're going to go a bit more positive. Obviously, having someone like Tony Weston in behind, obviously he is a striker as well. And you never know, he might be able to find his way into the team in that attacking midfield role. We've got a couple of reserve players that haven't played a single game throughout the course of the campaign so far. And yeah, it's just going to be one of those things. As Johnson does want to get the header, can Ambersley get there? Yes, he does. And he beats his man superbly, crosses it in, looking for Stobbs, and it's easily cleared by Home. But we do pick it up again with Posher. And now Richards. Can he get down that right-hand side? He lays it back to Posher. He's made the run now. It's a good ball over the top, and Stobbs is there. And he's decided to shoot from such a tight angle. He had two players, I'm guessing that was Spencer and Weston, trying to charge into the penalty area there. And he just tried to go for goal, which was a bit selfish of him, really, in that position. But Weston, that's a great pass. Ambersley into Tony Weston. And we take the lead with 5 minutes to go. This is a huge moment in our FA Cup campaign. The positive mentality seems to have worked. Like I say, we only changed it briefly for this last 20 minutes, but that was a really good delivery into the centre of the area. And Weston did his best to miss it. He hit the he hit the roof of the net, but he manages to get in with that goal, and that is a big, big goal for us. And it'll be a nice turning point in our season if we could get the win here and potentially make it into the next round of the FA Cup. Only a few minutes remaining. Can we hold on? We've done really, really well. I've not taken it off the positive mentality because we played well with that in play, and we have held on for a 1-0 win away from home against National League side Gateshead. That's a fantastic result for us, and I'm really, really pleased for the lads, to be quite honest. And it certainly gives us something to build on. And Tony Weston, incidentally, finally getting himself on the score sheet as well, and playing in that attacking midfield role. rather than up front. So certainly something to be aware of from our perspective. Really, really happy with that win. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to move things forward a touch because I am aware of who we're playing in the next round, but I'm just not sure when the fixture is going to take place. As you can see from the league table, some league games have taken place. We're down in 18th place at the moment. Tactically, I will change that to a positive mentality because we certainly seem to play a little bit better against the opposition when we took that extra step forward. So hopefully it's something that we can make use of. In terms of the fixtures, I'm still trying to get used to having these bookmarks here. It's absolutely shocking, isn't it? Oh, the FA Cup game is still a little bit of time away, actually. We've got 4 league games to play before that FA Cup tie. So we will go to Macclesfield away, but then we'll come back relatively quickly for that FA Cup game against Marine. Incidentally, we do play them away in the league as well. So hopefully, if we can get a good result in these next few league games, we can build a bit more momentum. But we've got the Macclesfield game first and foremost, so just bear with me. I'll be back in a moment, and hopefully that FA Cup win can be a bit of a turning point, and we can get into a little bit more of a winning ways in the league. Okay, then, here we go for the game away against Macclesfield in the league. Starting lineup isn't going to be too much different, to be quite honest. We're going to keep things as they are, but we've got that positive mentality from the start today just to see if that makes any difference. Macclesfield are a good side, to be quite honest. I don't know where they are in the league currently, but I am aware that they are quite a good side in the National League North. So it's going to be a tough game, this one. I'm hopeful that we can get things going in our favour. But after that FA Cup win, I like to think that we can just start to build a bit of momentum. It's a big result for us, that one. And they've got some very good players in there, Macclesfield. It will be a tough game regardless, but hopefully we can pick things up a little bit. It would be nice for us if we can get the win. Macclesfield sat second in the league. So, like I say, they are a good side. It could be a tough game, but I'm hopeful that putting us on the positive mentality as well, it'll give us the best chance just to try and push us forward a little bit and just give us a chance in the game, realistically. I have noticed because I'm a football manager, content watcher as well as creator. Curzon Ashton are a team that do tend to struggle. So I think the board wanting a top half to mid-table finish is quite optimistic. So it is going to be something that I'm looking forward to getting stuck into, and we'll see if we can make an improvement here. As an Olim here to Ambersley, just holding on to the ball, managing to just start a run down that left-hand side, just eases the pressure a little bit. As an Olim to Weston, that's a poor pass from Charlie Weston, and he's got to be a little bit better than that as Mellor gets it into Elliott, and Danny Elliott scores, and I don't know what Hawkins was doing there, but Damani Mellor, I'm sure he was a former youth product of Manchester United, Damani Mellor. The name does ring a bell for some reason. Um, I mean, it was very simple, very quick passing from Macclesfield. But again, momentum is always with the team that are playing very, very well. It happens everywhere. I know it tends to go without saying, but especially in the lower leagues, if you've got momentum, you tend to get things go in your favour. And unfortunately, we are lacking that at the moment. But I think going to a positive mentality will help us. But obviously, going against a team that's second in the league, it is always going to be a tough ask regardless of what mentality we go for. So I'm just hopeful that we can be a little bit competitive in this game and get a league goal. That'd be nice as well. As Richard strikes the free kick, and it almost caught the keeper out, actually. It was a very well struck free kick from Richards, and Burnley managing to tip it around the post. And incidentally, I'm looking at the match stats there. We have been the better side. It's just that Macclesfield just had that little bit of quality in that one move that we've seen. But at the moment, we are very much in the game. We just need to, again, be a little bit more clinical. Stokes with the header. Ambersley picks it up, has support ahead of him if he can find it, and he lays the pass. And again, I think it was Charlie Weston. He just wasn't keeping an eye on what was happening behind him there, and he's just ran away from it. And Mellor is in, and it's a good tackle from Hawkins, and Ezenoli manages to clear, but only as far as Kay. And now Ellis back over the top. It's a good header clear again. Now Stobbs inside to Eames, and a nice little jink on his run there before the highlight finish, but nothing coming from it. And Again, Damani Mella very much running the show in that attacking midfield slot for Macclesfield at the moment. Here is Richardson. Again, we're just not quick enough at getting rid of the ball at the moment. We should be playing a little bit more direct than we are. It is the mentality that we've got in place, but for whatever reason, the lads do seem to like to take their time. It's just approaching half-time here, and I'm hoping that, yeah, what a strange highlight that was. I don't know why they showed that as a highlight, but we're going to half-time, 1-0 down, but looking at the match stats, we are very much in the game. We just need to try and find a goal. Unfortunately, both of our strikers um, are struggling in front of goal realistically. Tony Weston did manage to score in that FA Cup game, of course, but Spencer hasn't scored for a couple of games. He scored in the 96th minute against, I think it was Oxford. But we'd already lost the game at that point, so I don't really count it as anything worthy of note, if you see what I mean. So it's just going to be, we've just got to keep plugging away. If we can find a goal scorer that we can afford and such, then great. But if not, we're going to have to stick it out and see what we can do. Stokes here with a delivery into the penalty area. Spencer couldn't quite get there, but he has managed to pick it up again. He's got the support, finds Posher, and now Stokes into Ezanolim, who strikes it, and it's just clipped the top of the crossbar. But the thing that concerns me there is obviously one of our centre-backs is taking the corner because we haven't got any good set-piece takers. But at the same time, he's passing it to another centre-back in the penalty area, and then the guy that had the shot was our left-back. Our forwards just aren't getting involved enough at the moment, which, considering there are better players, they should be doing more than they are. Richards here into Posher, and now Stokes plays it forward into Charlie Weston. Bit of space for him to work, finds Bursley. Good positive run from him, gets into the penalty area. It's a good, I mean, it was the right idea, but he just didn't have any confidence in the strike, I don't think, there. And Danley easily claiming that one, it was straight at him. And Bursley, again, he's looking positive, but we're just lacking that cutting edge in front of goal. We've certainly bossed the match stats, and considering Macclesfield are second in the league, it's easy to see why. Arguably, they've got the quality up front, they've got their goal, and defensively, they are keeping us at bay. We're going to bring Stafford on for Ezanolim, just because of fitness concerns. We're going to bring Eames off for Tony Weston, as we did in the FA Cup game. McLean can come on as well for Stobbs. I think Stobbs hasn't had a very good game, and Bursley can go onto that right-hand side. We'll see how he gets on there. And we've also got Brad Holmes, of course, who we've not really used. I think, to be fair, we'll bring him on for Bursley. We'll just give him a chance and see how he gets on. He's not the best in terms of quality, but it's just going to be one of those things, I think. We'll change all of that front three and behind the striker. And Weston's not had a good game either, so James can come on. He's not had too many appearances so far, to be fair, Jack James, which is not ideal because he is in on loan, and I have every thought in my mind that he will get recalled if he doesn't get played. So it'll be what it'll be. And Elliott wins the header there, and Gibson Hammond lays it back into Ellis, and now Luke Mattison. I'm sure Mattison as well. Wasn't he once upon a time in the Premier League? He had a big move from one of the lower league clubs, if I remember rightly. Danny Elliott makes it 2-0. And again, it's one of those things. I hate making substitutions because the lads aren't fully into it. But at the same time, we have to try and make changes just to try and freshen things up a bit. But that was poor. And again, it's Stafford who's been caught out, and the defender tried to get it clear, and it went straight into Elliott, and it's 2-0 against the run of play. But yeah, it's just one of those things. We've got to make substitutions. We can't just never make a substitution. But every time we do, it seems to go against us, which is quite unfortunate, really. So yeah, there's not really a lot we can do. And I can't remember what I was talking about just before I went into the goal there. So hopefully you guys can remind me as in the comments below, and I'll try and remember what I was going on about, and then I can finish the sentence in the comments. But Stokes here into Stafford, back into Stokes. Now Posher looking over the top for Spencer, and there's Weston. I mean, there's a fantastic goal, and again, we've deserved it, but again, a fantastic goal has been scored when there's not really anything we can do about it. The game is already lost here. Posher launching it over the top. I thought Spencer may have been offside there, incidentally, but a lovely first touch on the half volley, and Weston on the volley, smashing it into the back of the net. He's clearly picking up his confidence a little bit, but yeah, from a general perspective, I don't think we've deserved to lose the game today. I think the positive mentality certainly works. We've created more chances, but yeah, and Mellor there producing a really good save from Hawkins in goal, and it remains 2-1 straight from kickoff as well there. But I'm not too disheartened, to be quite honest. I mean, we played a very good team there. We did manage to finally get a goal, but again, it's just not quite going in our favour. I think we played well. They're one of the favourites for promotion, Macclesfield. We could have won the game on another day with the chances we created, in my opinion, but it just wasn't to be. Um, yeah, a little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. So the league struggles do continue. We've got a 5 point gap, to be quite honest, to that bottom four though. So I'm not too worried as things stand. We've got a big game against Marine coming up as well. We drew with Charlie. I think we may have beaten. Did we beat Chester earlier in the season? I can't remember. Um, but the teams below us we have been competitive with, but we just need to pick things up a little bit. We need to try and get some wins on the board. I'm a little bit intrigued and optimistic about Tony Weston. 2 goals in 2 games for him. Again, from that attacking midfield slot. So again, not too disheartened with that either, but we need to find a way to win. And it is a concern, but I did see some improvements there. So hopefully, going forward, we will see some improvement. We've got a few league games to go until that FA Cup game, which is against Marine, who are one of the teams behind us in the league at the moment. We've got Marine away in the league next as well, so that's a massive league game for us. We need to win 1 or 2 of these next 3 games just to try and pick our form up a little bit. But we'll come back for the FA Cup tie away against Marine, and we'll follow it up either, hopefully, I'd like to think with another FA Cup tie, depending on when it is, or it'll be another league game afterwards. But I might skip a couple of league games because obviously everything is quite close in proximity at the moment. But positive signs, we just need to try and push it on a little bit. So until then, guys, thank you very much for your support. Please like, subscribe to the channel. It is all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. This is Big Will, signing away.